Hello, hello, wonderful ladies, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Queenager Show, the go-to podcast for Gen X rockstar CEOs who are ready to let go of your fears about being seen and heard online. Yep, that will be the 70s and 80s parenting, conditioning us not to show off and making us overly self-critical and judgmental. Ladies, it's your time now to end show off shame and instead embrace your fabulous queenager years. This show is your fast track to the freedom lifestyle you've always dreamt of. And I am your host, Mel Wakely, your online visibility strategist, a marketing expert with over 25 years' experience of making brands shine. Let me hold your hand and guide you on your mind-blowing journey to becoming a video queen, standing in your power and ready to claim your millionaire retirement. Let's go, queens. Welcome to the very first episode of the Entrepreneurial Queenager Show. Super excited to be here with you. In this episode, I'm going to share with you what it's like to be an entrepreneurial queenager with a business in the online space. But first, let's kick off with why I coined the term entrepreneurial queenager. If you're new to this term, or maybe you're wondering, what the hell is a queenager? And where does that word come from? And what does it mean? I am about to let you know all about it. So the term queenager was invented by an amazing and inspiring woman called Beth Ann Hardison. She is famous for being on Bridgerton, and she's also a bit of a fashion icon, an amazing lady. And she said, I think the proper name for senior women should be queenagers. Hands up who still feels like a teen. That's like one. If you watch my socials and my stories, you'll see that I'm often acting like a teenager still. And she goes on to say that if you're fully grown up, how you see things now, opposed to how you might have seen them as a teenager or young adult, is different. For me, personally, the defining factors of being an entrepreneurial queenager are one, experience, two, time, and three, wisdom. So if you feel deep inside that you're the same young girl of your teens, but now have the blessing of age and wisdom, then, as Beth Ann says, queen you are, teen you be. You are a queenager. Welcome to the club. Next up, I want to talk to you about being an entrepreneur in the online space. I think if you're Gen Z, like my sons, or a millennial, then it's really hard as it is. And I know that there's many, many business coaches out there who make it look so easy, but it's a big fat lie. It's bloody hard work being an entrepreneur. You have to have a very big why in order to build that resilience and that grit to succeed. And what do you reckon it's like? If you are an entrepreneur queen, you're going to know the answer to this, but what do you reckon it's like when you add in perimenopause? Perimenopause sent me absolutely nuts, age 43. I ended up, didn't know what the hell was going on, and I ended up being diagnosed with ADHD, age 47, which I realized I had been masking my whole life, right? Then let's add in the huge, huge fact that Gen X, born 1965 to 1985, are the last generation not to grow up with the internet. We're not digitally native. It feels a bit clunky for us. We're fast learners, but it takes a while. And side note, if you're watching on YouTube, you could take a look at the video highlighting the differences between Generation X ladies and the other generations. It will make you laugh out loud. And if you're 50 something, let me know if you can text with your thumbs like that, because I certainly can't. And I think it's one of our defining factors. So what's it actually like being an entrepreneurial queenager? Firstly, there's just so much pressure from social media and on social media for us to appear happy, vibrant, all of the time. And it actually leads to some of us, and I'm holding my hand up here, pretending that we're not actually going through a natural process of aging and embracing it. Instead, we have the issue of comparisonitis because it's so easy to start comparing ourselves to millennials who mostly all look the same, like they've been cloned. Not everyone, but some of them, with their identical long, shiny hair, brilliantly white teeth, and those lovely big eyebrows that they favor. And yes, I do make jokes. If you follow me on socials, you'll know I make jokes about filters being a brilliant free facelift for us queenagers. But let's face it, it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig for us entrepreneurial queenagers. And to be really honest with you, I went through a phase of face dysmorphia about a year ago. Um, and this was because I was using the same filter all the time on social media because I absolutely freaking loved how it made me look. And it was a real vanity piece, basically. And the filter was on Instagram and it was called Brittany and Kylie, which is obviously perfect because they're both amazing Queen Asians. And before you go searching for it, it's not available anymore. It's gone with all the big changes that happened on Facebook and Instagram. And Anne has filters for going live on Facebook, which was a shocker for me. I was really pissed off at the time, but now how I look is how I look. And I think sometimes the vanity needs to be left behind. And instead we just accept this is how we are. So are you in the right place, ladies? Do you resonate with being an entrepreneurial queenager? Do get in touch if this is resonating with you. So most of the women that I work with are like me, ex-corporate high flyers. You probably left your C-suite role to build your online business empire and to claim the millionaire retirement that you dream of. But I bet it wasn't as easy and straightforward and time giving as you thought it would be. I bet you're finding it really hard to be your own boss without the systems and support of your corporate job. It is bloody hard being on your own. That's short for sure. And I also bet that you're absolutely sick and tired of being the internet's best kept secret. And with your social media content, you'll just feel like you're on a hamster wheel. You're pushing it out, but it's just not converting into clients in your DMs. And this is all going to come down to your strategy and the content that you're producing. So I have been exactly where you are now. And this is the reason I set up the Entrepreneurial Queenager community, because I feel that we are in a league of our own and need extra special support to survive in the online entrepreneur space. And I'm on a mission to help Gen X women in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond to embrace visibility and become confident as the known face in your business and in front of the camera, and become known as the industry leader in your niche while you're only working 2 to 3 days a week and earning the big bucks, even more big bucks than you're in your corporate role. The bottom line is I know how to get you visible as fuck. I know how to integrate very easy to follow video-led visibility strategies that will build your online presence and your personal brand, guaranteed. So why did I become an entrepreneurial queenager? Why am I here? Why am I doing this in my early 50s? I get asked that question a lot. So the short version of this story is that I actually left my corporate job working with big brands. I worked on Mini and FHM and Tango, just to name a few. I left that job when my number one son was born in 2010. And I set up a marketing consultancy which served the events industry. And it was easy. It was part-time. I could look after my kids. And I was in my comfort zone, very much on that comfy sofa. Serendipity came along along with the pandemic, and I lost all my event clients. And I knew that I'd been coasting, and I knew that I had more to give and more to share with the world. And I'd also been watching other startup coaching businesses during like 2021. And I thought, fuck, I could do that too. And Video Queen was born. And I'm not going to lie, it's been fucking hard. There have been lots of setbacks. There's been a lot of hard graft. There've been failures after failure after failure. I've had online bullying to deal with. And I've had all the other naysayers and members of my family out there who think we're too old, or I'm too old, or too late to be building a successful online business, or too old to share our wisdom with the world. And you know what I say to that? Bollocks is what I say to that. For one thing, and this is a fact, 40-year-old women, over 40-year-old women, is the fastest growing demographic on TikTok, and it has been for over a year now. And I have heard everything. And here's just a few examples. Number one, I can get told that I don't have a business and I'm just showing off on the internet. Yeah, I am showing off on the internet. That's exactly what I'm doing. Two, I get this from trolls. Oh my God, your kids must be so embarrassed of you being on TikTok. What the hell are you doing? Three, are you having a nervous breakdown, Mel? Or maybe it's a midlife crisis. Uh, kind of did have one when I realized I had ADHD and I didn't know. Some of my family even say that I've joined a cult because of the spiritual stuff that I'm now into. And in the words of Mel Robbins and her brilliant book, Let Them, I say let them and let me, and let's just do what feels aligned and right for you. I would absolutely love for you to send me a DM on Instagram, or add a comment if you're watching on YouTube, if you've experienced this kind of ignorance and ageist attitude, as I would love to know. And I would love to know how it's made you feel and how you've risen above it. Because the bottom line is you'll be wanting to have a mighty big purpose to rise above all this crap and to develop an attitude of let them. And as I always say, other people's opinions are none of my flicking business. The truth is, I'm doing this because I've always known that I was made for more. I've always had this internal pull since I was a little girl. And now I have two boys who are in their teens, who are neurodiverse with ADHD and special educational needs. They don't attend mainstream school. And I have literally had to fight the system and tooth and nail to get them the education and financial support that they deserve. And it's been bloody hard to do that and run a business at the same time. And the reason I'm building this business and making it successful and as sustainable for the future is because I want to role model for my children that you don't have to follow societal norms and get a boring job which doesn't light you up and is stressful as fuck. You don't have to follow that path just because everybody else is. It's not necessary. And instead, you can follow your passions and become an entrepreneur or whatever the fuck you want to do. And I want to prove to them that you can. So let me ask you, do you sometimes feel like you're the only one struggling with brain fog, depression, overwhelm, and fear while juggling entrepreneurship and a family? Me, I've been through all of those. I still go through them sometimes. Do you feel stuck in your business thinking that you've missed the secret strategy, silver bullet, the thing that everyone else has got, but you're just wandering around in the dark, alone, wondering how the hell to move forward? Yes, I've been there before and like worked with so many coaches in order to try and get there, but it has to come from within, let me tell you. And I have got the many, many t-shirts to prove it. And do you get stuck for hours slowly navigating the apps when trying to make videos? Video is really important for collapsing the time, the trust, no, like trust factor. And then when you finally record something, you spent ages watching it back with that pesky inner critic telling you in your ear that it's not good enough. Or do you keep being told by your business coach to do more vulnerable content, but your corporate life conditioning leaves you struggling with how to bridge the personal with the professional content? It just seems a bit alien to you, you know? It seems weird to suddenly be sharing all this personal stuff online. Know this, okay, ladies, you are not alone. There are many, many clients that I work with just like you. And if your mission is to create a freedom focused life, there is a community of women out there just like you, waiting to support you in my free Facebook group. It's in the show notes. Come and join us. You'll be very welcome. Because when it comes to getting visible and happy online, I know a thing or two about overcoming the social media noise, the tech and jargon confusion, the brain fog, the loss of mojo, because I have been there myself since 2021. My first reel took me 3 hours to film, and it's really embarrassing. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it coming up now. And that means I don't care. You know, everyone has to start somewhere, and the lighting is absolutely awful. And I look really, really uncomfortable. So you are not alone, ladies. And you are definitely, most definitely not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And I promise that if you keep moving forward, you'll find yourself looking back and feeling so flipping grateful for your journey. So, if any of today's episode has resonated with you and you're experiencing something similar, then do get in touch with me. You can find all the links in the show notes. I'd also love to invite you to join us, the Entrepreneurial Queenagers, my free Facebook community, where you're going to find women just like you, ready to support you and lift you up and share the shit and giggles. This is a supported network of women just like you and me, where we share the shits and giggles of life as an entrepreneurial queenager. And also, just to add a little cherry on top of the cake, every first Friday of the month, we have a networking and mastermind session live on Zoom, where you're all welcome. It's completely free. And we'll be chatting all things visibility strategy, as well as all the other shit that we have to deal with being a perimenopausal entrepreneurial queenager, probably neurospicy as well. They happen on the first Friday of every month. The next one is on 6th of June at 1 p.m. And so until next Tuesday at 10 a.m., I invite you to keep on rocking it, Queens, and I'll see you next week.